Hey, everybody. Belinda Sandor here. Welcome to Lessons from the Cockpit. Today, we're going to talk about productivity and not the way you're going to expect. Hello, everybody. I am Belinda Sandor. Welcome to Lessons from the Cockpit. I'm going to be your host for today and every Friday at noon, and I hope you'll put us on your calendar. I'm very excited about our topic today, which is productivity. And we're going to talk about tactical and practical ways that you can bring productivity into your world. And I see people are joining me. That's fabulous. So tell me where you're coming in from. Tell me who's here. I would love to know. So hello, Frederica. Happy VA Day. Yes, everyone, happy VA Day. I'm very excited that we have this day dedicated to us. I'm thrilled. And if you stay with me till the end, I'm going to tell you about a special treat for you as a virtual assistant today at the VA Connection. So come on in and let me know who's here. I see Christina is here because she loved us up with an emoji. So Lessons from the Cockpit is brought to you by the VA Connection. And at the VA Connection, we help new aspiring and established virtual assistants really build a thriving business. And we want to do that because I want you guys to skip the struggle, right? And get right into that VA lifestyle that we all want. And we do this in our free online community that is just about to hit 23,000 members, our courses and coaching programs. All right, so I see my girls are here. Okay, so Tasha's here, Christina's here. All right, Teresa is here from Kentucky and Deanna's here. Hello. I am thrilled that you guys are here. So today we're going to talk about how to be productive when it's a lot easier to be busy, right? And it's a very important skill for virtual assistants to master. And understanding how this works will absolutely help you be more successful, help you make more money, help you make your clients more successful as well. So first, let me introduce myself. Hello, Brandy. Hello. Happy VA Day. Yes, very exciting, right? A whole thing. We have a day. I love this. Okay, so let me introduce myself first. And again, keep the comments coming in, where you're coming in from. And I'd love also to hear what you want to take away from this training today about productivity versus busy. Okay, I'd love to hear that. So this is me and my, as I call her, little Delish, which maybe one day she'll forgive me for. But this is us 11 years ago. And it was a pretty rough spot that I was going through, and one that I didn't see coming. And it was mostly because I had my head down and I wasn't paying attention to what was going on around me. And before I knew it, I was in this spot where, I'm getting divorced. I have no money. I have no way of getting money. It's really not in charge of my story, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But not taking responsibility in that I wasn't deciding what I wanted in my life. I was letting life happen to me. And usually that's not a great result. So here I am, uncertain, overwhelmed. My confidence is shattered. And I've got to start using some muscles that I haven't used in a long time to pull this all together. But I was determined to. And we're going to talk about why in a couple of minutes specifically, but mostly I wanted to be with Emily. I wanted to figure out how to make this all work so I could be with her in the important moments of our lives, like as a Girl Scout leader, when she, needed to come home sick from school, things like that. So it was really important to me to do that. And most of the things that I wanted to build my life with her around, you can't do when you have a job. And the other thing was, I was kind of tired of, I've had some great jobs and I've had some amazing mentors and great bosses. And I also, my last job, not so much, I felt really not appreciated and kind of alone. And, salary reviews were ridiculous, like, we're going to give you a 2% raise. Yay. And it didn't seem like if I worked harder or or smarter or anything that I could really make a difference. And so I wanted to be able to be in charge of that. What I decided to do was admin work, because I was a secretary in my 20s back in the dark ages. And I liked that work. It felt comfortable to me. I'm good at it. And I enjoyed it. And I thought, okay, for me, this is going to be great. So I just started telling everyone I knew about it. And I told one of the dads at the school bus stop, who was thrilled because he just started a business and he was drowning in all the stuff that I love to do. And he hired me, and we worked together for a long time. And then after that, my next client I met in a wedding buffet line. I talked to him and his wife for a few minutes while we're standing, holding our plate and chit chat, told him what I was up to. He gave me his card because I didn't have a card and or a website or any of that. And I connected with him on LinkedIn, which felt at the time like I was asking him to marry me. Like, I'm not kidding. I was so introverted and so afraid to take these steps to get the word out about what I was doing that in the beginning, I was definitely getting in my own way. But he contacted me on LinkedIn a few weeks later, and we're still working together today. In fact, we're going to do a webinar together for him in a couple of weeks. So it's important to get the word out. And so now if we fast forward, I've been in business 11 years, almost 12. It'll be 12 this summer. And I've worked with over 225 clients. And here's the thing. From the seat I'm sitting in, this actual chair, I was able to make $1 million. $1 million over 11 years, and probably well over that. Because the first year that I started working, I made $70,000. And every year after that, I made over $100,000 working as a VA with me doing the work, with me doing the work. So I don't have a big agency or anything like that. It's just me. All right. Now, fast forward, here's what it looks like today. My brand new husband, Greg, we got married last summer. Here are our kids, Emily, Greg's 4 boys. And this was on our wedding day last summer, which was a very exciting day. And life is different. My finances are handled. No more minimum payments, no more barely getting by. I have a thriving business. And I was there for Emily, when she needed me. And the main thing is that I can breathe again. I don't have these sort of like panicky moments anymore where I think, am I okay? Can I handle this? What's going on? That's gone. That's gone. And that is a big deal. So if you are ready to have this as well, let's get started. Okay. So I'm glad you're here, you guys. All right. So let's look at the definition of productivity for a second. Okay. Because you guys, how much I love definitions. And the definition of productivity is a measure of efficiency of a person, machine, factory, system, etc., in converting inputs into useful outputs. Now, it's funny because I've really shifted. I used to love that definition, and I still do, but I want, because it seems very exact and it seems very clear. When you're being productive, you're converting things that are coming at you into something that's useful. And I like that. But I want to shift the thinking around a little bit before we dive in. So today we're going to talk about the softer side of productivity. I'm definitely going to go over what are the top productivity busters. And then I'm going to talk about the productivity boosters. Okay. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, so I want you to think about, when you're being productive, what are you trying to accomplish? Because a lot of conversations about productivity lead to a lot of shoulds, have tos, talk about consistency, habits, and all of those things that that can put pressure on us, right? They can put pressure on us. And I want to think about it from a different point of view. Like, what are we going for? Really, like, when you look at your business and your life, what do you want to design? Which feels very different from achieving or, striving or, all of those other words. So I would love to hear in the chat, what it is you're going for, and as clearly as possible. And it's important to think about that, because otherwise we're just doing the thing in front of us, right? Or the thing we think we should do or we have to do. But I want to talk about what is the outcome you want for your business. And for me, I wanted ease. I wanted ease. I was so stressed out, right? I wanted to have not only money, enough money, I wanted to have more than enough money, right? I wanted to have a buffer. I didn't want to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. I wanted to be able to provide for Emily. Kids need things. They need shoes and bikes and, all those things. And I wanted to provide that for her. I wanted to be able to feel good. I wanted to be able to go to the grocery store and buy the food I wanted and not worry about how much it was going to cost. So tell me, what are the things in your business that, that you're shooting for? The things that make whatever it is that you need to do or you decide to do worth it. And so with those things in mind, I set my goal for my business. And I sat down and I figured out how much money I wanted to earn to get these results. I was very deliberate about it. It wasn't like pie in the sky, let's just pull some number out of the air. I was very deliberate. And then what I did was I figured out what my hourly rate needed to be based on, according to how many hours I was going to work every week, month, and year. So an actual number, okay? Because we might say, yes, I want to increase my productivity so I can make, $50,000, but we don't know the math, and we have to know the math. Okay. All right. So Elise says, yes, I want to have a system that flows, financial freedom. Yes. Christina, definitely less stress, flexibility, control, appreciation, definitely financial freedom. Yeah. Yeah. So what I said to myself is I want to create $100,000 or more in my business so that I can provide for Emily, feel peace, have more than enough money, and take care of our life. And so really think about how to word it in a way that's positive and in the future. I produce $100,000 or more each year so that, and really think about that. And then the next thing I did was I put supporting systems in place. And one of those systems was learning how to be as productive as possible. Because if I didn't, I wasn't going to meet those goals. And honestly, the pain of staying where I was way too much. I couldn't handle it anymore. I couldn't handle it. It was just too much. And believe it or not, by having the goal and by understanding the why, it made it a lot easier for me to stretch, to do the things that were uncomfortable, things that were new to me, and things that felt hard. And I did them anyway because I wanted the ease. I wanted the peace. I wanted my life to change. So I want you to think about, what do you want to design your life to be like? Okay? What do you want it to be like? I have Post-its, as you know, on my monitors, and most of them are to remind me why I'm sitting here, why I'm doing this, why it's important, both from a spiritual place, a financial place, a place of giving, a place of belonging, all of those things. They're all right around me so that I remember. Because it's easy to walk out into the kitchen and start folding the laundry when that's not the most important thing. And we're going to talk about that too. Okay. So what will you design? Now, we all know that productive is different than busy, right? And when I think about, people talking about how busy they are, it's kind of like a badge of honor. It's like, oh, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. And it seems like a jail sentence. I'm so busy. But we're in charge of that. We are definitely in charge of that. And I think it's really a shame when people kind of put their hands up like, yeah, I don't have any control over that. I'm so busy. Life keeps happening, and I know that life happens. I know that. I have a busy life. I have a family, I have chickens, I have clients, I have you beautiful students, I have, and I have a garden, and my car breaks and Emily gets sick, and, all those things. And I still get to be deliberate in what I want to create and what I want to work on and what I want to accomplish. And a lot of that, at the center of that, is productivity, because productivity is more than working really fast. Productivity really is about deciding ahead of time that life you're going to design, right? That business you're going to design. So like I said, you don't want to just do the thing that's in front of you. You need to be able to step over the laundry basket, walk by the dishes in the sink, whatever it is for you. And it can be difficult. And it can be difficult because you might have tapes playing in your head that say the kitchen should never be dirty. The laundry should always be folded. The floor should always be clean. And I want you to listen to those voices and then say, who says? Right? Who says? Because I grew up in a way that everything was organized and neat, or should be, all the time. And I realized how much time it was taking away from my productivity, literally to fold my underwear. I don't do that anymore. Or to iron the cloth napkins that we use. It's not necessary. I got the kind that don't wrinkle, because I like cloth napkins. So think about your life, the voices in your head, the shoulds and the have tos, and figure out whose voice it is, and then shift the script. Shift the script so that you can decide how you want to spend your time. Okay? All right. All right, I wanted to talk about why busy is easier, because busy is so much easier than productive. Okay? You can stay under the radar. When you're busy, your hands are moving and you're accomplishing something. But what I've learned to ask myself is this getting me where I want to go? Now, before we go further, I want to say this. I do have unproductive times in my day on purpose, right? I have time when I'm like scrolling on my phone, or when I'm watching a TV show, or, or I'm just sitting. I just sometimes need to sit, and I do absolutely do that. So I don't want you to think I'm so driven that every single thing in my life is toward a goal, because that's hard. That's really hard. But the majority of my life is on purpose. Absolutely. And I think about things ahead of time, because I know what happens when I don't. What happens when I don't is I turn into a train wreck. Like I need those, rails, I don't know, like I'm thinking about bowling, for the kids, they put up the rails to keep my ball in the lane. Like I need that. And so I've just discovered that that's a great piece of information to have, that I need that. So staying under the radar is one thing, and you don't have to risk failure. If you're just busy all the time, you're not writing that book. You're not creating the garden. You're not taking your child, shopping or out to lunch. You're not, investing in the things that you want to do because you're so busy, right? And I know it happens. It happens. So let's talk about some productivity busters, okay? And I'd love to hear in the chat how this is resonating for you. Is this making sense? Or are you thinking that, this is crazy? All right, so tell me in the chat. I really do want to hear from you guys, okay? So the first productivity buster is not having a plan, not knowing, what to do. Let's see what Christina says. Good. It makes perfect sense. Awesome. When I started thinking about this episode of Lessons from the Cockpit, it was this morning, and we were going to do something completely different. And I thought, because I was thinking about, this and this and this, and be productive, and don't do this and don't do that. And then I thought, why don't we really peel that back? Like, let's peel this back and look at like what is actually happening here, and who's in charge, and how does this feel, and why am I so driven? What about the things that I want drives me? What does Elise say? Absolutely. I schedule downtime. Yes. Yes, we have to. We have to. So back to this, the first productivity buster is not having a plan. I don't feel like I have the luxury to get to my goals if I'm always trying to figure out what to do next. Okay. And that gets to this next bullet here. I decide what my priorities are for the week when I do what we call tasking. I sit down and I look at my calendar on Sunday and I look at the projects that I want to achieve for my business and for my clients. And I decide, when am I going to do what? Now it can move. It can move. I might put something on Monday. It doesn't get done till Thursday, but and I can reprioritize. I had 2 projects on my plate for this week, and I realized on Tuesday that's not realistic. That is not realistic. So I moved one to next week. But I know what's next, and in the back of my head, I'm kind of thinking about the steps for that, and I'm kind of percolating on it, which I really enjoy. So you need a plan, and you need to know what's next. Also, a productivity buster is not having a clear goal, because if we don't know our why we're doing it or what we're doing, it's hard to be productive. Another thing is not having the tools we need, not having the right computer, not having enough monitors, not having whatever it is, note cards, Post-its. In a lot of ways we don't need a lot, but I need a way to take notes. I need a way to track my finances. There's certain tools that we need to have to run our businesses and to do our client work. Or we're sharing them. Like let's say I use a highlighter a lot. So if we only have one in the family and we're sharing it, that's not a good idea. I don't want to be looking for the highlighter, right? So in some ways, you need to take yourself to Staples or wherever you shop for your supplies and get your own scissors. Get your own favorite pens so that you don't just have one pen on your desk, and if someone takes it, you don't have a pen. All right, silly, but it really does bust productivity. Not handling tolerations. This is a big one. You want to look around your work area and beyond that, your life, for what are the things that you're tolerating, like a printer that doesn't print, or a webcam that keeps breaking, or whatever it is, and handle it, or make a plan to handle it, so that you're not always thinking, oh my God, I have to do that. Write it down. Get a 3x5 card, write down the things you're tolerating and figure them out. Like for me right now, I have a drawer over here and it's got a bunch of stuff in it and it's all just thrown in there. And the other day I thought, you need to go to the Container Store and get some little boxes and organize your stuff, because I'm just digging in there. It's like, why am I doing that? Because it happened a little at a time and I didn't notice until all of a sudden I realized this is a mess. And I'm going to take myself to the Container Store, which I love, and and we're going to handle it. So write down those tolerations. Not setting firm boundaries is a big one as well. It's really hard to meet your priorities and be productive if you're always like helping someone out, like putting out fires and all that kind of thing. So there are times when I'm on a deadline, I am working on something, and Greg will come up and he'll say, can we go somewhere tonight or at lunch or whatever? I check in with myself. I don't automatically say, sure, yeah, no problem. I'll blow my thing off. I think to myself, can I make that work? Or it's really more like, how can I make that work? Because I want to try to do whatever he wants to do. And then it's really thinking about, all right, is that going to get in the way of my plan? And am I willing to move it? And this happens all very quickly. And if I can't go or can't do the thing, I might say something like, I'm already scheduled for this time. I'm working on a deadline. How about if we go tomorrow at 5? And, we compromise or not. And maybe I just don't do whatever the thing is, but it's important to make your decisions in the context of what you've told yourself. The way you talk to yourself is really important, and keeping promises to yourself is so critical. It's so critical. So really think about that, okay? Now I want to talk about some strategies, okay, for productivity beyond mindset. Whoops, hold on. So the first one is I begin my work pretty much the same time every day. I have a routine. Routines keep me they keep me going. They keep me going. And so every day I start about the same time unless I've made a plan ahead of time to do something different. I prioritize my day, my week, my month. I look ahead and I think about, what do I want to do? What do I want to accomplish? And then I block time on my calendar, because I might have a post-it here that says, do X, Y, and Z. But if I have to keep looking at this post-it, so let's say I was going to work on a project, I would put a block of time on my calendar as well as a reminder. And again, I might move it from Monday to Tuesday to Thursday, but it's on my calendar and I don't delete it unless I've decided not to work on that. Work on one project at a time. I see so many people spinning their wheels all over the place because they're not working on one project at a time. You can have multiple things going on, but not all at once. So even though we think we can, I think we never get any traction, and I think we feel busy and we don't feel productive. So I know there's a lot of things going on, right? There's family, there's kids, there's clients, there's VA school, there's, all of those things. And if you're working on your business, pick one thing. Pick your website. Pick your freebie, and do it completely and thoroughly. And if you need to send that to the editor and it's going to take 3 days, do something else in the meantime, but this is the thing you're pushing forward. This is your priority. Okay. Have a system to track what you're working on, and for me, that's my calendar, but have a system so that you know what's next. And let me tell you how I figured out this what's next thing. When Emily was a baby, like bitty baby, little bitty baby, she was in daycare 15 hours a week. And so the business that I was running, I needed to do the things I had to do that I wanted to do without her by my side in those 15 hours. Part of those 15 hours was actually walking 15 minutes back and forth because I didn't have a car, to where the daycare was. So I had to be on task, and I didn't have any backup. I didn't have any other help. So that was the thing. And so I made a list, like what's first, what's next, what do I need, and got really clear so I could just bang out of those 15 hours what I needed to do. And that's where I learned how to do that out of necessity. All right, so I want to talk about productivity boosters, because there are ways that we can make ourselves more productive by doing things that we overlook, which is taking care of ourselves. All right, we need to take care of ourselves. So this is my friend Ellen. I have not actually worked out with her for a while, but before the pandemic, I used to go to her studio twice a week and work out. And in addition, I walk 4 miles pretty much every day. It's important to do that. It's important for me to feel good in my body. It's important for my health. It's important for my ability to focus, which is a big part of productivity. So I want you to think about getting exercise. All right. Good food. Good food is also critical for productivity. I mean, think about how you feel after you eat a Big Mac or pizza or some greasy fries. Probably really good while you're eating them, right? But afterward, you're tired, lethargic maybe. And if you can get some good food going, you're going to feel a lot better. Your mind's going to be sharper, and you're going to be more productive. You got to get out in 2 ways. Now, this is a networking event here. And, it's interesting because I have been networking with people that I know for a long time. Last week, I went to a networking event where I didn't know anybody, and I was a little nervous. It was on Zoom. And I actually went to a networking event in person yesterday for the first time in 2 years. And I felt really good afterward. My spirits were lifted. I met some new people. And you got to keep in mind, I don't like small talk. So I don't go in like, yay, it's more like, okay, all right, like, let's try to meet somebody new. and I did, and it was really nice. Make sure that you have friends. It's really easy for me to let friendships slide and not have someone to talk to. And that impacts our productivity as well. And so this is one of my best friends in Boston. And what we used to do, we would walk together. So every morning when I lived in Boston, I'd get up, we'd walk for 4 miles. She would walk her dogs. Those are Lucy and Ethel, which is hysterical. They're cute little dogs. And we would just talk for the hour that it took, and then I would sit down and start my work. So think about your friendships, getting outside. What are you eating? Are you moving? Because all of these things are critical. And just remember, you're the designer, right? No matter how many other people are in your life, in your family, in your sphere, you get to decide what you're going to do. You get to decide how it's going to feel. You get to be in charge of the voices in your head telling you, something that is going to be getting in the way of what you want. So take this on, design what you want, bring your productivity to it, bring taking care of yourself to your productivity. And I think you're going to have a whole different relationship with productivity. I'd love to hear what you think about this. So let me know. Oh, look, it looks like Lynn is here now. Great. Hey, Lynn. Happy VA Day. Yes, happy VA Day to everyone. So what a perfect segue. Okay. So today, in 30 minutes at 1 o'clock Eastern, we are going to have a website masterclass. I am going to teach you how to turbocharge your website. I'm going to go through all the pages of the website that we're going to look at. I'm going to go through the homepage. I'm going to explain everything that I can all about websites, and I'm going to answer all your questions. And I have a super special surprise that I'm going to share on how you can have your own super duper website very easily and affordably. Okay. So hello, everyone. This is So Good and Practical. Thank you so much. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, Teresa, thank you. You're welcome. Yeah. So guys, go forth and conquer, really take charge of what's going on. Here's Magdalena. She says, absolutely. And this makes this marks Happy VA Day to me and all those other VAs who are out there. Yes, it's a whole day to celebrate us and all the businesses we've impacted and all the entrepreneurs that we've helped. We help people, we make an impact, and it's good to celebrate that. Yes. All right. So Lynn says, you are the most productive when things are in balance. Friendships, relationships, taking care of health are all productivity boosters. That's right. That's right. Yes, absolutely. Lynn is such a cheerleader. I really appreciate you. All right. So I'll see you guys in 30 minutes. Join me. I'll be right here where I am now. We're going to be going through the website. I am really excited about this. I put a lot of thought into everything I'm about to tell you, and I can't wait to share it. So happy VA Day. Have a great day. I'll see you in 30 minutes. All right. Bye, guys.